Go ahead and call this meeting to order. First thing is pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the next item is approve the August 8th meeting minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the August minutes, meeting minutes.
A second.
Okay, let me make a note here. On Tara's last name, that should be a B besides the B.
Oh, wait a minute, where we at?
On those who was present,
Oh, okay.
so that should be a B.
Um,
And then Glenn, I think he spelled his with 2 N's, but that's, I mean, that's
He
close
does.
enough there.
okay.
Okay. All right,
Tara's last name is Benson instead of
Yeah.
Benson.
yeah. Okay, with those little minor changes, any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Okay, passes. All right, next thing is approval of August financial report.
I'll make a motion that we accept it with, there's one thing that needs to be corrected on it, is that the local option sales tax is not showing, and Rachel's gonna take care of that.
Okay,
So, once you put that in, where it shows on the second page that it's a negative number, it won't be a negative number, because the local option sales tax is not included. So, that's the only thing, but other than that,
okay. Do I have a second?
No second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Okay. The next item is approval of August 19th FEMA financial.
we don't have that.
This is this right here, this is that one.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the FEMA report. You want one?
All right,
If you don't mind.
do I have a second? Okay, any discussion? If not, all in favor? Okay. All right. So, no old business. The first item was Daryl and Leanne Cain, but they're not here. There was requesting naming of their driveway, which is, they share the same driveway with the doctor. And they're wanting to name their driveway Cain. I don't know if it's Drive. I think it's Drive, but not sure. I told her that she'd have to come before the council meeting to name that. So they're not here, so I guess we table that till the next meeting for them to be here and verify what they're asking for. So can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we table the Cain request on naming a driveway till the October meeting.
Okay. Do I have a second?
No second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Okay. Okay, there was another item on the agenda that was taken off. I didn't notice it till right then. But it needs to be discussed one way or the other because they're in, violation of town ordinances and city code. So I guess I'm gonna turn it over to Jeff to see what we need to, the parties are present here today
For the variance.
for the variance.
Right, I understood there had been a variance request filed, is that right?
Well, I
We
thought
have the paperwork. May I
yes,
Okay, we
you
do
go.
have the paperwork and we're in the process of getting it all together. Plus it, according to what we were given, it requires 30 days before the city council, before it can be brought up before the city council. So all the paperwork has to be with the city council for 30 days before it can
Okay.
even be brought up,
Okay,
which is why we pulled it from this month's agenda, because we didn't get it that far ahead.
okay,
And once that's filed, because that's a zoning variance, that is something that would probably need to be published in the newspaper.
well, that
It
was
hits
what I
the
was
zoning
wondering.
requirements, so we'll need to publish for a public hearing. Once
Well, I didn't
once an
suggest that we
application
do
is
that
filed.
because we didn't have the actual
Right,
paperwork.
now you can't do it until you have an application, so.
Right, and, I would have to look and see, what the fee is for a rezoning request.
Okay.
Is it rezoning?
Well,
It's a variance to the zoning.
We're not rezoning.
well, here's,
It's just, it's a zoning matter, that's why it
Yes.
requires publication and a public hearing by state law.
yes,
A variance follows the same rules as a rezoning.
okay, and I will bring you up to, speed. Y'all had, and I don't know what date y'all moved out or how long, I know it's been over a year since y'all moved out of the residence, and since then, we had a hearing and voted on a zoning map. And all the property from the schoolhouse to Mark and Paulette's is the downtown district highway business. So permanent resident is not allowed in that district. So, I mean, that's what we passed and that's what we did.
But that part didn't change. That was commercial before we did the new. It was commercial when they lived there before.
Correct, but though we've redone the zoning map
Right, but
and
that-
public,
Mm-hmm.
that we, I mean, technically we redid the zone. I mean, is that not what we did? I mean, we
Yeah.
actually verified all the rezoning, or all the zoning, even the new parcels, or I mean, the parcels up at,
I don't remember if the zoning changed on that piece or not.
right, but I mean,
You did
We
adopt
did.
a new map.
yes. So anyway, that's where we're at, with that. So we would have to check and see if it is a rezoning matter or a,
You have a fee for
According to our
you have a
code, it
variance
says
fee.
it's that they have to apply for a variance
Right.
on the use of the property.
okay, but it would be, but you're really rezoning the portion of that to an R, what you call R.
Well, you're not changing the zone, you'd be allowing a use that is otherwise prohibited by variance, but it's
Right,
considered,
and that variance doesn't carry, if they were to sell the property, that variance for someone to live there does not carry with the property.
Okay, all right.
So that's why it's just a variance on the use of the property.
Okay. All right, do we want to discuss or wait for their variance to discuss any requirements?
I would wait. When do you think you'll have the application in?
Hoping to have it in early next week.
Okay.
It's just, there was a lot of steps to it, and one of the most difficult parts is getting a plat. There is no
Right.
plat
There's never been a plot.
that we would ever, so it's got to be a courthouse visit, and hopefully they can find it in the 1800s, 1900s books.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably on some kind of original town plan, so.
I'm surprised that a mortgage company didn't require a plat.
There was never a mortgage.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
well,
it was
that was the
cash
reason
sale.
why, that was the reason why then.
And we were given the numbers, what do you call that?
The lot numbers?
The lot numbers in the
No,
book.
lot numbers, but the survey type numbers. We were given something like that, but we were never given an actual plat.
Okay. All right.
50 feet from the center line of
Yeah. that's-
Kelowna Street to point X,
Yeah.
turn right to
Right.
point Y.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so if that's not on the agenda, that's tabled.
I make a motion that we table the discussion of the variance until all the paperwork has been submitted to the,
That's not on the
Yeah.
agenda. It wasn't on the
It
agenda.
wasn't on the agenda.
but we didn't vote to take it off. That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't on.
It wasn't on.
Well, it was, I see what she's saying, it
It was on
was,
your published agenda before,
Yes,
wasn't it?
yes.
Okay, I
yes.
gotcha.
yes, it was on the,
I
so,
did-
so we would
So you
have
can
to,
table it.
we would have to table, so.
Right.
All right, we have a motion, to table the rezoning, or I mean, variance until next month. Do I have a second?
No second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor? Okay?
May I ask
Right.
a question though? Maybe the attorney would know. The very last thing said, a sign must be posted 15 days before the town council meeting, but that's all it says. What sign?
It's a
I've got a
sign
sign that
that
says fresh eggs.
I mean, tell me what sign it is, where do I get this
says what the
sign?
variance request is.
No.
And who posts the sign?
You do.
And we get it from where?
What's
You
the
can-
verbiage?
You can,
I don't, have y'all done signs before?
yes, we have.
We have.
We done the, rezoning request for,
That
The city
acreage.
would provide the sign.
City will provide the sign?
yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, that clears that.
But now, they will be, I mean, you will have to pay for it.
I'm fine with that. I just-
So,
It just says a sign must be posted.
okay,
Yeah,
So-
you have to let your neighbors around you know that what.
Well, that's okay, they already
what
do.
the change is gonna be.
okay,
Yeah, here.
okay, so,
That's fine.
so you need to make sure that you get it here as quick as possible.
Yes.
Because it has to go, and we have to post it in the paper, I imagine, also.
Okay.
So it has to be,
I mean, it technically says 30 days, but if I get it here next week, will I still be okay for the next meeting? I don't have a
yes,
calendar in
yes,
front of me.
yes.
Yeah, they can move that as long as it meets the state law requirements and gets in the paper in time.
Okay,
But the cutoff is Mondays on the progress.
right.
We can normally ask them if we know something's coming down for, for Tuesday, but Tuesday is the latest. And we have to pay for that
By
too.
12.
Yeah, so like I say, like the whole thing, the law says it has to be.
Understood, it's just
So,
understanding when I actually have to have things, when it just, if I have to have it by Tuesday, that's gonna be really pushing it to get some of that stuff in.
well,
But
I
by
mean,
the following Tuesday, I'm very confident everything will be in. It'll be in next
Well,
week, but
And you can, I mean, you
Here's my
can decide
question.
if you want an actual plat or not. And if
Well, that's what I was gonna ask, could we just
a
take
tax
a
map
copy?
would suffice here.
now, the one question I have is, okay, your deed, states that your lot starts 50 foot.
it's that kind of a verbiage thing,
Okay,
yes.
so we would need that at least.
Just the deed. You could use
Yeah.
the tax map. Usually you want the plat if it's a variance as to buffers or setbacks or something like that. In this case, you know where the building lies on the property. That's not really the issue. It's
And
not
all
that
of
kind
those-
of variance.
Right,
So
all those lots are 50 by 100.
you could waive the plat requirement because that's going to be hard to get unless you find an original city.
We
town
can
plat.
attach a copy of the tax map, I mean, that can be pulled offline,
That's
just so
Okay.
we have something with it to show
Which
where
one?
the property, which
No
property
questions,
and where.
absolutely. It's just, it asks for a plat and it's like,
right. Because that's normal, but they can waive that. So.
And please understand, we're not trying to be difficult, it's
No.
just,
that's fine, no.
we have
We
to set a
understand.
precedent for anybody coming on down
No,
the
we
road.
understand,
that wants to do the
totally.
same thing, so. Gotta make sure we get it right.
It's funny, I saw Leanne today.
Okay, okay, so we had a motion second and it passed, I want to make sure, like I said, we got talking there. And I know it's not on the agenda, but, what about Heritage Days? I mean, have we,
Heritage Days is moving along, if you look on that thing, we've already collected, what, $1,000, I think it is, in rentals. I talked with Mark drizzle yesterday, and we already have over 20 vendors. We have a couple of new food vendors that have applied, and I have turned away probably 24 retail vendors, which is something that we don't allow. That was something we decided a long time ago, was just to keep it antiques and homemade stuff, because that's the signature of our festival. So we've turned those away. Everything's lining up. I mean, the sign on the highway is taken care of, porta potty's taken care of, both drivers for the shuttles have been taken care of. The county's gonna let us use their bus again this year, so everything's just falling in together. So, I do have one question for you. I'm trying to get in touch with them to see if we can get the inmates to come and help on Friday to set up. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, we'll have to see what they say pretty busy, but. we'll
Right,
see.
well, that's why I was trying to get a hold of Joey early.
No, you can't, no. You don't contact Joey.
Yeah, see, they told me I had to talk to
No,
him. Well,
no.
then who do I need to talk to?
I'll talk to Wayne.
They told me Wayne wasn't over that anymore.
Oh,
But that's who I called to ask for the first time.
okay. Well, anyway.
But I think that's all on Heritage Day. We're doing pretty good. We've not gotten any sponsors. I'm getting ready to put out reminders to the people who normally sponsor. They always forget. You send it to them early and it gets buried in a pile of paper. So I'm gonna send them out some on a piece of orange paper and see if I can motivate them. If I have to, I'll go to, yeah. If I have to, last year I had to go door to door on some of them, but that's okay. We'll get it.
Do we give those to you? Do we give those to you? We're gonna sponsor this year.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Well, actually, just give it to Rachel.
Okay.
Because that way she'll deposit, and then she can email me a copy of so I can keep up with it.
Okay.
Is the form in the town office or is it on the website?
It's online.
Perfect.
All right.
So are we at max capacity for the booths?
No,
No.
no, I mean, but as Randy can tell you, it's always slow in the beginning. You have some that
Yeah.
rush in and do it, but then Mark has called other people that have been here before, and they're gonna send their application in. Some of them don't have access to print it off, so Mark's actually mailing them a copy of the application. And then there's some of them, and they've been with us almost the whole 25 years, and they wait till the last minute, because they know there's gonna be room for them somewhere, so they wait. And a lot of them will wait till they can get the weather report.
Oh.
They don't want to send their money in till they know if it's predicting rain or not. So, as Mark said, we're really not worried about it because we know it's going to fill up before Heritage Day. So.
I skated about application today.
Okay, I'm gonna try to present the budget at the next meeting. And, something that is concerning, and like I say, we've been doing so much work and stuff on the building, so I can't really, and I just noticed here, I didn't even pay really attention, but town hall power, I don't see where, the street lights. And
I
I'm
thought
sorry,
they were on there. Well, there's
I see the-
park power.
see town hall power, $513.78.
Well, don't we have 2 air units now?
Yeah, but then it can't be that much, and I don't see the street lights.
Okay, I'll look.
Unless we haven't paid for the street lights. So,
Well, sometimes the bill, one bill comes in later than the other.
Yeah.
okay. So here's, I'm gonna go ahead and raise this because we need to really be thinking about this, because if this is just the power bill for the town hall, and and I know that we've been working on town hall and people have been coming in and out. But what concerns me is that we're bumping the AC up to 75 or so to keep it regulated so we don't have mold and stuff issue. But if spending, if that's true and we're spending that kind of money on the building, it's gonna eat up a lot of budget next year. I mean, that's so, and I guess when we done 2019 budget that we wasn't using town hall that much, so
$6,000 roughly a year.
And another thing is the, you know, I know everybody likes the barrels and stuff out there, but it really jumped up the water bill for the month, you know, especially when it's not raining, or, you know, raining and stuff. So anyway, I'm just a little concerned with that being the case. And then,
Well, unless it's that extra air unit, because the town hall bill used to be under $300. So that's why I'm concerned, when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, why is this so much?
well, I understand.
We need to look, what we need to do is put those bills out and look at them and do some comparison on well, actually you can go online and look at it. It'll tell you how much you used last year compared to how much you used this year. And I think that's something that we just need to pull over.
Hold on, But anyway, if we're gonna start leasing this out or you know, renting it out and stuff too, that's gonna cause the power to go up or the propane to go up. Because people's gonna be coming in and out, and we're gonna be setting it at 70 degrees and 68 or, you know, and, you know, like I say, it's just.
We're just gonna have to make the fees when we set them up to reflect that.
You also could regulate your
Well, we can, yeah, we can, but I mean, it's still, I mean, you know, you're gonna have to turn it. And to be honest with you, to get this cooled down, I turned it on, or she turned it on yesterday. So and now it's already warm in here again, because we're having to cut it off to here. And I didn't realize that was gonna play that big of a part talking back here. But like I say, I'm just sort of concerned, you know, that we're getting, you know, a lot of things that's gonna be increasing. I mean, it has been a hot summer, but like I say, we just need to figure out the fees for that and make sure that we're,
Well, and one thing too, Randy, if you will notice, when they're in here working, there's usually doors open. And I think that plays a part into it too, because those big doors are being left open, so that hot air comes in here. And I know there may be a door up, but you know as well as I do that heat's still gonna come in. And that could be one thing that's playing a part in it.
but anyway.
We just need to look at those bills and see.
Because like I say, the amount of stuff that's having to come out of the budget is really getting up there. So like I said, I just want everybody to be aware of that. So anyway, I'll be working on that and trying to get hard numbers. That's
Well, and I think we need to up the fees for the park and this building.
right. We might have to do that. But anyway. So like I say, I'll present that, and then of course we'll have to, it's coming time that we're gonna have to put an ad in the paper about the tax levy for next year and the 5-year.
Yeah, that needs to be done next month.
So we gotta do that too, and you need, I'll be thinking about that also. So anyway, that's all I got. Anybody else got any?
I just, the budget for 2019, can I get a copy of that? I will, I had to capability of looking at a spreadsheet that we have that we've utilized, but I need the beginning budget that we had so I can play with the numbers and just try to fit what I was trying to say monthly. And I'll give you my email information. Oh, you have it.
And then also send him the year profit and loss to date. So that way he can see the numbers and stuff.
We don't, just, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to,
No.
after we create the budget and we approve the budget, throughout the year, we don't create new line items. Do we have like miscellaneous and then it falls under there? But we have general lines of budget that we have.
Well,
Attorney fees, power.
yes.
Those stay the same.
Yes.
Something
And-
totally comes up new, it falls under miscellaneous, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we try to make sure everything falls in
Yes,
line.
sir. Yep.
But I do know that we spent a little extra because we did find some fireproof, file cabinets on sale, so between that and the,
But did that fall under like office supplies?
yes,
Okay.
yes. But that and the new computer and stuff like that, so we actually went over budget on that, but then we're under budget on another line item in that category, administration. You see, so basically, even though we're over budget on that, we're still under budget or on budget.
Okay, well, you can have I see what you're saying, you can have a subline that says, you know, in red, an unexpected cost, but it falls under that category. Okay.
So, but anyway.
Well, I can play with it though.
Okay.
I do that every freaking day.
Okay. All right. Any comments from the audience? We usually don't have one, so we don't
Can I
do
just
that.
ask very quickly,
Okay.
your water bill, you said your water bill has gone up because you're watering the barrels?
Yes.
If Steve and I took over a couple of those barrels, would it help? I mean, they're in front of our building, it's no big deal for us to run a can of water over, and it's only.
Well, I mean, that's fine, and that would be great. You know, yeah, I mean, that would be fine. I was just thinking if you was talking about just that you take over the duties, it's still not gonna help us with the cost of it.
Oh, I got a pump, I can pump right out of the creek.
Okay.
But, I mean, you know, we have no problem watering some of the barrels, I can't water them all.
Right, okay.
Just so you let us know which ones you wanna do, so that the maintenance people know which ones you're taking
Absolutely,
care of.
it just makes sense to me that everybody helps out.
Okay. All right, so any other comments? Yes, sir, Charlie.
Randy, I recommend that you scrap down the air conditioning units in the back of the building. They stole the air conditioner from the church up here, they stole the air conditioning unit from Fred's department store. And I'll guarantee you, that's on their list too. They also crawled underneath the truck buses at Mount Zion Church and cut the catalytic converters out from underneath the buses. So I want to forewarn you, lock them babies down, strap them down like they did at Appalachian Tech.
Okay.
They will get them.
All right. Any other comments? Okay. All right. If no other further business, motion adjourned.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay, adjourn.